If you buy a property out of state, the big question is, how do you manage it? So this is how to manage your property from out of state. Here we go. Managing your property from out of state is not as hard as it may sound, but it depends on how far out of state it is. If you're, a couple hours away in a different state and you're in the East Coast where you've got a lot of property nearby, those states are smaller, that's one thing. If you're out in the Western United States where you've got lots of land between you and the property states, then it probably makes most sense to manage the property using a property management company locally. 3 things you want to look for with a local management company. Number 1, referrals, okay? Can you talk to some agents and get some referrals locally of who does a good job? Number 2, and very important, reviews. But here's the thing with reviews. A lot of reviews from management companies are from tenants. You also want to look at reviews from owners, right? And 3, you want references. Are they going to give you references from other owners? You want to talk to those owners and see if they're happy with them. Depending on the size of your property, managing it from out of state may require you get a property manager like we just talked about. Now let's talk about how to do it yourself. Typically, this is not a good idea, okay? If you're doing something like Airbnb and you have a staff or crew on site that cleans and turns over the property, that's one thing. But if you have long-term rentals and you're out of state, anything can happen. Plumbing problems, electrical problems, all kinds of stuff. I have a lot of properties in California, some properties in Oregon, some property in Florida, property in Hawaii, but I live in Las Vegas. So how do I manage all that? I use management companies. In Oregon, I have my brother who lives there. So if anything's wrong, he could deal with it. In California, I use management companies, okay? I use also my own people because I have a whole crew there to help with other things like maintenance and all that. But I use the management companies for all the finances. Now, what about managing something that is larger, like a big apartment building? You're just gonna have to go with having an on-site. Anything 16 units or bigger, in most states you need an on-site manager, and that may be enough, okay? But here's the key to out-of-state management. Somebody has to be there. You're not gonna get on a plane and fly there every time something goes wrong. And things go wrong all the time, especially depending upon the age of your building. I like to use management companies. It's worth the money and it saves you a lot of headaches and the calls from problems because they're there to deal with them. Another thing with managing out of state is you want to give your management company an income limit of what they could spend. So let's say they could spend up to $250 for a repair or $500 typically, or they got to call you and get it authorized. But if it's an emergency, they're going to need to fix it right away. Some people are using a lot of the electronic and internet ways to manage things, like having people electronically pay their rent. That's certainly helpful. Another thing you could do is get people to fill out applications online so you don't need to meet people if you're not in state. And finally, don't forget to subscribe so that I can help you with your management, with your purchases, with your real estate. I've been doing this for 30 years, and over those 30 years, I've renovated property, developed property, sold property, bought property, dealt with many different management issues with tenants, and have a lot of knowledge. So be sure to subscribe, and I'll continue to put information up. We put a new video up every single day, Monday through Friday, to give you information to help you learn to make money. You're already here, you're already learning, so stay with me and I'll continue to give you stuff. Okay, so let's talk about some of the pitfalls of trying to manage yourself being out of state. Number 1 is you don't know the local rules, okay? Every state has different rules. Now, some are very similar, some are very different. California, Oregon has statewide rent control. New York City has rent control. Okay, so LA, San Diego, these different areas have different things that you have to know and do. Notice periods. The notice periods to tell a tenant if they haven't paid rent or if there's a problem are different state to state, okay? Another thing that's important about having a local agent is it gives you a barrier of insurance. So if you have property out of state and there's a problem their errors and omissions insurance covers you if there's a mistake on their part and their management messed up. So instead of the tenant dealing directly with you, they're dealing with your management company, and you have that barrier of insurance. Of course, you're going to have your own insurance as well. Make sure you get a landlord's policy and talk to your insurance broker or insurance agent about that. Always use professionals. I can't say it enough. Use realtors, use management companies. They're licensed, they're trained, they know what they're doing. They're going to put the right notices. They're going to deal with things properly. They're going to make sure you follow fair housing laws. A water leak can cause tens of thousands of damages, and if it's severe, you need to get that fixed right away, because you could have a massive amount of damage to your property, and if you have a condo and somebody's below you, it could damage their property too, right? The other thing is roofing. If there's a big storm, you want somebody locally that can handle that. So Paul McGuire's recommendation is, if you have properties out of state, you either have somebody there locally on site that works for you, or an on-site manager, and or you hire a management company to help you to deal with it. It's a small amount of money. It's a nominal expense compared to the amount of protection and help that you're going to get in terms of managing your property. Join me on the next video where I'm going to talk about how to increase your cash flow with real estate.